Section 73 of A Guidebook of Art, Architecture, and Historic Interest in Pennsylvania, edited by Margaretta Archambault. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Tatiana Chichilla. Lackawanna County. Formed August 13, 1878, named for the Great Lackawanna Coal Basin, an Indian word signifying the forks of a stream. Chief industry anthracite coal mining, confined to the long depressed trough forming the Lackawanna Valley and to the mountains bordering it on both sides, with Bald Mountain and Lackawanna Ridge, 2,250 feet high, and Big Stony among the Music Mountains, 2,230 feet. Originally settled by Connecticut people who disputed the right of Pennsylvania to jurisdiction. Life and growth have been the result of the coal mining industry, which brought into it large numbers of Welsh, Irish, German, English, and Scotch, whose descendants dominate the region. Latterly have come Polish, Slavs, Italians, and Lithuanians, a heterogeneous but rapidly assimilating mining population. The mining of anthracite coal began at Carbondale in the early 20s. The old No. 1 plain is marked with monument and tablets. Coal was taken over the Music Mountains to Honesdale, Wayne County, by steep inclined plains, up which the loaded cars were drawn by ropes or cables, and the empty cars let down, thence by canal to Round Out on the Hudson. On the levels between plains, cars were drawn by horses. Later, a descending grade was given to the tracks over which the cars ran by gravity. A similar gravity railroad near Scranton carried coal to the Delaware and Hudson Canal at Hawley, below Honesdale, both now abandoned for steam roads. The county northwest has well-cultivated farmlands. That southeast blends with the Pocono Highlands, is wild and picturesque, an almost unbroken wilderness for 30 miles, excepting along the line of the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad. On both sides of this road are good highways. The main road, the whole length of the valley, is exceptionally fine. The road from Goldsboro Station was built by J. Gould, 1855, when he was interested with Mr. Pratt in a tannery at Goldsboro, now Thornhurst. At Carbondale, crossing Music Mountains, is road to Honesdale, following the line of the old Delaware and Hudson Gravity Road. At Dundaff, about 5 miles north of Carbondale, this road runs along the edge of Crystal Lake. Near are the twin knobs of Elk Hill, about 2,500 feet high. A point of geologic interest is the Archibald Pothole, said to be the largest of the kind in this country, a cylindrical hole 20 feet deep by 30 feet wide, eroded in the Ice Age through the overlying rocks down to the coal measures. Scranton, county seat, population 137,783, laid out on site of an Indian village, Munsee tribe, began as an iron town. Iron in large quantities was found in the hills 3 miles south of the city, and a suitable quantity of limestone was also supposed to exist there, but the coal business superseded. The old ore mine and abandoned road to furnaces at Scranton are of historic and picturesque interest. The courthouse on Washington Avenue near center of town stands in a square of ground, Romanesque, West Mountain stone, built 1881 to 84. Architect S. G. Perry. St. Luke's Protestant Episcopal Church, Wyoming Avenue near Linden Street, Gothic, West Mountain stone, built 1866 to 71. Architect R. M. Upjohn, New York. Contains Tiffany mosaic panel, back of font, Baptism of Christ. Also Tiffany window and chancel, the Ascension. St. Peter's Cathedral at corner of Wyoming Avenue and Linden, Italian Renaissance, brick, built 1866. Architect Joel Amsden. Remodeled 1883 by Durand, Philadelphia. Administration building of the International Correspondence Schools, Wyoming Avenue between Vine and Mulberry Streets, Gothic, West Mountain stone, built in 1898. Architect W. Scott Collins. Window by Kenyon Cox, made in 1898, Science Instructing Industry. The Scranton Public Library, Albright Memorial, is placed as an accent of beauty, corner of Washington Avenue and Vine Street, French chateau style, 15th and 16th centuries, after Cluny Museum, Paris. Gray Indiana limestone and brown Medina stone, laid in coarse ashlar, built in 1893. Architects Green and Wicks, Buffalo, New York. Contains portraits of Joseph J. Albright, painted in 1902. Artist, Bayard Henry Tyler. And of John J. Albright, artist Chartrain, France. Stained glass windows are illustrative of celebrated book bindings in the past. Marble mosaic floors in the entrance hall. Second Presbyterian Church, Jefferson Avenue between Vine and Mulberry Streets, Romanesque. West Mountain stone, built 1885. Has Tiffany windows, Charity, and Hope. Madison Avenue Synagogue near Vine Street, Byzantine, West Mountain stone, built 1902. Architect George W. Kramer, New York. First Presbyterian Church, corner of Madison Avenue and Olive Street, perpendicular Gothic. Indiana limestone, built 1903. Architect Holden, New York. Windows by John Lafarge. The Woman at the Well, and by Tiffany, the Ascension. Tiffany mosaic, Pentecost. Emmanuel Baptist Church, corner of Jefferson Avenue and Mulberry Street, Gothic, Hummelstown Redstone, built 1909. Architect Edward Langley, Scranton. Elm Park Church, corner of Linden and Jefferson Streets, Romanesque, West Mountain stone, built 1892. Architect George W. Kramer. Lackawanna Railroad Station, Lackawanna and Jefferson Avenues, Renaissance, Indiana limestone, granite base, built 1909. Architects Kenneth Murchison, New York, and Edward Langley. Has interior finishings of Gruby tiles, and mosaic mural panels of views along the Lackawanna Railroad. The Everhart Museum of Natural History, Science, and Art in Nayog Park, south end of Mulberry Street, given by the late Dr. I. F. Everhart and sustained by generous endowment. Renaissance terracotta, built 1908. Architects Blackwood and Nelson. Contains also a Hollister collection of Indian curios. Much natural beauty centers about the water supply system of the Scranton Gas and Water Company, which has over 10 miles of fine driveways, including the road to top of Mount Anonymous, overlooking the lake, and Long Swamp Drive, and roads up about Scrub Oak Mountain. End of section 73. End of A Guidebook of Art, Architecture, and Historic Interests in Pennsylvania.